It's not just your lawns that need that H2O. We're out on the farms to see how crops are doing in this dry season.
We start with a look at the weather. Rainfall this month, of course, coming up short, very short.
With just 0.3 inches of rain in the month of June here in Madison, some are wondering if we could be headed toward a drought. We have team coverage first at 6. Gary's on the patio with the latest outlook that doesn't include much rain. Andy
Choi spoke with area farmers who say their crops can't take much more dry weather, and that's where we begin tonight. Andy?
Eric, the season started with optimism. Mild temps early on, giving farmers an opportunity to plant ahead of schedule. Problem is, dry conditions came several weeks early as well. If drought made a sound, you'd hear it on Chris Davis's farm, where corn crops are holding out for any sign of moisture.
You know, if it continues like this, you'll start seeing some brown leaves, and once you start seeing the leaves, it's really going to start cutting down. I don't think it'll kill the plants, but it may if we continue with no rain.
On top of that, Davis's crops are in Wisconsin dells, where sandstone is common for soil.
And if you look at this, see how this falls right apart? You know, it's real crumbly. And when you have water that goes through this, it just kind of, you know, filters right down through it. There's nothing that really holds it together.
Davis says this plot averages 160 bushels. Without any rain soon, he'd be surprised to get half. Experts say reverse yields are a reality at farms around the state.
At this point on corn especially, yeah, there's definitely some yield hit going on. The corn tends to create the number of kernels, potential kernels on the ear at this point. And with the water stress, there's going to be fewer of those, so yields are more limited.
See how the corn, it's going into like reserve mode?
Trying to protect itself.
It's protecting itself.
It's a crop Davis had high hopes for early on, but for this farmer in the dells, the corn stands alone, swimming in irony.
It is kind of funny that we are the water park capital of the world, but we can't get enough water out under the land.
Back to Madison's total, 0.3 inches of rain so far in the month of June. The state's climatology office says if that number does not double by the end of the month, the city could break a precipitation record low dating back to 1869.
Don't hear numbers like that very often.
Yeah.
1800s.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
is not enough rain. All right. Thanks, Andy.
You're welcome.